video we're going to talk about PVA. A lot of anglers beginning have no clue what that is, so I just wanted to discuss it. Basically, you can either get a bag, PVA bag, or you have the funnel web systems. Basically, with the funnel web, you're just going to fill whatever you're putting in here, ground bait, particle or whatever, push that down, compress it, and then you're just going to pop it out the end and make a nice little tight bag that's going to explode in the water once it melts. Or you have the bag, which you can put the lead weight in here, or you can actually rig it right on the hook length itself. But basically all PVA is, it just melts into the water. It takes maybe about 30 seconds for the water to dissolve it. Then you have a nice spread of bait all near your hook bait. Really nice method to use. Most every carp angler uses it at some point or another. So basically all we're going to do, I'll just show you how to do a bag real quick with just your basic stuff. I'm not even going to use anything fancy. I'm just going to use grits from my last video. All we're going to do is fill this up, kind of press it down. If I'm using a real small bag, I'm putting it right on the hook length. And if it's a larger bag, then I'll put my lead and bait all in the bag. But yeah, you can see with the grits, you can press it down real nice. So you're going to have a nice explosion. Basically, all I do here is I'll pinch the top of it. I'm going to twist one time. It compresses the bag real nice. All I'm going to do is just lick it. Lick the top of it. Just pinch it over. Got a nice tight bag. And the small bags I like to use on the hook length, like I talked about. I just take a stringer needle. All I do is I just puncture it right up through, put it right on and push it down to the hook. The hook will actually penetrate into it and it'll hold it in place. Then it will dissolve in about 30 seconds. So you can see a PVA bag and what that is. I'll take a photo here in a second so you can see it up close. Where you have your funnel web system. Basically you tie off the end and then you just start loading it up here. This is a real small one. This is a boilie funnel web. They come in all different sizes. But just want to get a little bit in here to show you what's going on with it. Alright, got your plunger. You just press that down, compress it, and you start to slide it out the end. And you're just basically trying to make a nice little stick. That's actually a pretty big one. Then twist it off at the end here. One thing nice about using grits is it really compresses. Get a nice, really tight bag. Flip this around, you're just going to tie off the end. And you're just going to, right now you have excess. You're just going to slide it up. My scissors here. You can tie off the other end later. But got a nice little tight bag. We'll watch that dissolve in a second in the water so you can see how this, basically as soon as this melts, this will just pop out. The tighter you compress it, especially with like particles like hemp or whatever. There's various methods with hemp. You got to put it in the salt water so it doesn't dissolve the bag since this is water soluble. So we got either the bag or the PVA stick. And let's get to the fish tank so you can see what that looks like. I'm going to make another stick and put it on a rig just so you can see what it looks like spread around the rig. But that's PVA. Any questions? Feel free to ask. Any tips or pointers, just let me know what you need to know about it and I'll see if I can find some information for you. Alright, let's get to the fish tank and let's see how it looks. Okay, time to show how PVA looks in the fish tank. I made a little smaller stick, more what I usually use. Okay, let me zoom in. See, it's starting to break already. Got that real bright pop up there. Stands out like a sore thumb. The first thing the fish is going to see. You can see how fast the grits spread everywhere. It's just about broken down, probably about 30 seconds. Just a little bit more to go in the middle. But you can see if it's flaking around, it's floating, it's going up and down. There's always a movement there. There, the rest just broke off. And that's how a PVA bag looks. Breaking on the bottom. I'm going to get my bag. I put a lead weight into it just so you can see how that breaks. Usually I pack them a little bit fuller, but I just wanted to show you how that's going to look. I'll just put it right next to it. Usually, let me put that here. Here's what the bag looks like. I just threw the lead weight. It's not the neatest bag I've made, but just showing real quick. Usually I'm using a bigger bag if I'm putting the lead into it, but I just wanted to show you for video purposes. Okay, you can watch as it dissolves. It'll slowly dissolve. You'll see the air bubbles come up. See, all of a sudden it just released everything, and then it's going to spread on the bottom there. I pressed that one a little bit tighter. The grits are kind of like a sponge, so then it takes a little bit for the grits to start breaking as well. So usually you'll have a hook bait that pops out of that if you want to use a bag. It seems like the bags are a little bit more cost effective compared to the stick, but the stick you can make a much better popping action that might attract the fish in. Didn't see a whole lot of action from the bag, but then again I didn't compress it really tight. And it's still going. But just to show you again, this is what, let me zoom out here so you can see. That's what a PVA stick looks like. That's a really big one. But you can see how compressed that is. Long cylinder. And then also, this would be a PVA bag. And like I said again, I just did them real quick, so it's not as pressed as I'd like. And usually I'd fold the corners in just to make a much tighter bag so you can cast farther. Now if you don't put a lead weight or put it on the hook length, these are going to float because they have air inside of it. So I just throw it in there. See how it's just floating? So you got to either put a lead on it or put it on the hook length, and the lead you have on your line will hold it down to the bottom. So see, that's taking on the water here in a second. Slowly break down here in a second and just dissolve. But like I said, the bag itself will float just because there is air in it. There it goes. You can see how the explosion happened, even though it was on top of the water. And then it just slowly spreads. But back to the other one. You can see that's fully spread out. Spreads real nice. Fish comes in. You get bluegills, perch, even bass will come peck away at it. The grits, and then all of a sudden the carp will sense that. Then they will move in, and then first thing they'll see is that bright colored pop-up sitting there right in the middle, and then go for it. Then you'll have a fish on. So that's PVA. I'm going to show a view from the side just so you can see the explosion, and I'll get to that in 1 second. Okay, time to show you a side view of how this breaks down. We got PVA there, about to drop it down in the water. And watch that pop here. You see it's breaking down fairly quickly. You'll see how that dissolves and you have the pop-up left, just waiting to be eaten. Still breaking down a little bit. See how the particles are going up and down, rising to the top, falling back down, kind of like an up and down mix. If that doesn't grab the attention of a carp, I don't know what will. See a real nice bright pop up. Just waiting there, nice CC more critical edge, critical deception pop up. See it just about finally broken. But look how the particles keep going up and down. Nice little spread there. Got your hook and bait. Alright. Now let's show the bag. Let's see how that looks. Again, you can still see that going up and down. Just wanted to really stress that. Just constant movement. Pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to drop the bag. I made a little bit tighter bag, see if that'll give a better pop for us. So here we go. Okay, you can see the bag. Water starting to penetrate a little bit. Take a little bit till it pops. These air bubbles are about to explode. There it goes. Look at that. Nice tight bag. Made all kinds of large bubbles come out this time. This one here just has a lead weight in it. But usually the bait and the rig will be in this unless you put on the hook length. Nice break there. You see it spreading out real nice. Alright, little pieces of cream corn. Nice attraction. And again, up and down. See the little particles going? See them floating everywhere. We'll get back to this one over here. You can see you still got stuff going up and down. Let me show you from the top how that looks. You can see there's some floating on. It's hard to tell when you're looking down, but there's some floating on top. You have all the different layers of the water column from this. So that's going to attract them no matter how deep you're fishing. Let's say they're 5 feet from the surface. It's going to draw them down to the bottom. But great presentation. So, and that's going to be the grits pack bait. Okay, I just got done showing you PVA bags and also PVA sticks. Like you see here, or the bag, like this, how to use them, what they look like in the fish tank, which mimics what it looks like out in the lake. I use the grits pack bait, which you can see in one of my other videos. I'll put a link up here so you can check that one out. And how well that goes up and down after the bag melts. But that's PVA and what it does. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it was educational for the new carp angler, or maybe even somebody who's been at it a while, learned a trick here today. But I'm Brian Wingard. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit subscribe and like the video.